got a good car. I've watched him move his way up through the pack. He's got a good enough car. And this is the spot he's longed to be in. He wants to be right here and have a shot at a win. He's got it right here.
This is what it's all about right here. I think that huge advantage to the guys that have 2 tires right now. But anything can happen here. Brad gets a good restart and gets himself out there. He's got clean air. The other guys have to race each other. He can get enough of a lead.
17 cars in the lead lap. 10 laps to go in Las Vegas. Remember the finish a year ago. It came down to the final lap with contact and 1 car in the wall and 1 car taking the checkered flag. Keselowski and Franchitti 1-2, but here comes Carl Edwards on the high side.
Brad Keselowski gets a good jump, and Franchitti's not a pushover right here. He's racing these guys for these spots.
Yeah, this is great experience for him, too, to get himself in this situation, to see what this is all about at the end of the race here. He hasn't been in this position before, so this is a great time for him. But he sees what the 2 tires are going to do, but he's hanging tough on the outside.
Only 7 NASCAR Nationwide Series starts for Dario Franchitti, and hanging tough right there in the top 5. Round up in front of Greg Biffle. Biffle now to the inside. Mark Martin to the inside of Clint Bowyer for position.
Time running out. We're going to see what Mark Martin's got right here.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski sitting out front there trying to get his first victory, and he said, who would I have to hold off but the reigning champion of this series? But that's exactly what he wants. This is the position he wants to be in. His car seems to be working really well. He takes it in high, turns it down across the track, and gets a good run off the corner.
Looks like Edwards is just a tick faster that last lap. But Keselowski has a spot.
You know, still, I would say that, look, watching Brad run, that he's going to make Carl try to go to the inside. And we've seen today how difficult that can be, even when you have a faster car.
The 88 car is the Junior Motorsports car, owned by Dale Earnhardt Jr., a cooperative effort with Rick Hendrick, but so is the 5 car. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the owner there, so his cars are running in 1st and 4th with 7 laps to go.
And here comes Mark Martin for 3rd. I think Mark's still the man to beat. He's still got 7 laps. I think he's got enough time to get there. Here comes Carl Edwards.
I think it'll depend right here if Brad Keselowski can hold up Carl a little bit as to whether Mark Martin's going to have a chance at this. And he does that. Dead heat at the line.
And Keselowski pulls him by half a car length now, entering 1. But here comes Edwards back on the bottom side.
Whoa, just like you said, Dale, look at Carl Edwards getting real loose on the bottom.
Track is really rough down there, and you get that air taken off of your car, too. Oh, now we've got a 4-car battle.
Yeah, Biffle is there. That's rubbing with Mark Martin there with 6 laps to go, and Mark charges back up.
Oh, this is just great racing. I mean, we've got guys all the way from...
Here we go.
Contact Martin into the back of the 60 car. There was contact there, and the 60 and the 88 come together.
I know Mark Martin didn't mean to do that.
The 11 car, Jason Keller involved as he spins after putting himself in position for another top 15 finish.
The last thing Mark Martin wanted to do was take Brad Keselowski out of this.
They were crossed up when they entered that dog leg there, man. I mean, they were crossed up already. Hey, like you said, he came down. I mean,
so you probably get a lot of draft. Mark's catching a pull off of these 2 cars running in front of him. Catches them just a little quicker than he anticipated.
I actually think Mark thought he could give Carl just a little bit of a push right there, enough of a tap that it wouldn't do this, wouldn't create this situation, but it would be enough of a situation maybe to try to propel them by the 88.
Looking over from
to the top lane behind the 88.
Carl Edwards' 60 car, Keselowski, and there's the contact.
Mark, I got in the back of us there. Watch your inside. Keep.
Yeah, even though we're going, you call this the front stretch, it's still a tri-oval, and so you're actually having to turn the car right there. and so the car gets a little bit light, and you get just a little bit. You can see Carl actually turning a little bit to the left to go through the dog leg, and just as he was doing that, Mark Martin got into the back of him, and not much you can do there.
Very light contact, but you can see these guys are just on edge.
Brad Keselowski, who had just driven his tail off there, and the fans standing and applauding and waving to the young man who had not had tires and was just hanging on for fuel and trying to get that first win.
Doing exactly what he needed to do. He was racing Carl Edwards. They were racing clean, you know, and this is the last guy that you see do something like that on purpose. You know it was an accident.
Let's listen into Mark Martin's radio.
Hey, man, I had a run, he come down, and I got into him. I hate that.
And if anybody does, I mean, as we talked earlier, this is just Mark Martin is the ultimate competitor that, you know, he's going to feel bad about this. That wasn't his intention. His intention was to help Carl get by the 88 right there. And, you know, these things are going to happen. As long as we're going to race, we're going to have these type of situations. And I know that Mark feels bad that it had to happen with Carl.
Remember now, we've got that spacer. So Mark, you heard him talk about getting a run. He was building up momentum. I think throughout the race we forgot that spacer's in there and sucks a lot of the horsepower out of these.
Checkered. Pace car's going to pull away. Will it be Mark Martin, Greg Biffle, Clint Bowyer? None of those drivers have won thus far this year. How about David Stremme, one of the guys Dale Jarrett talked about yesterday, and the efforts he's put in over the years here? He has never finished out of the top 5 at this racetrack, and he's running 4th here today.
Two guys up front that know how to get it done on restarts. They're going to drive down in turn 1. I'm betting that neither one of them are going to let off.
Kevin Harvick now trying to sneak on the inside of Stremme. That is for 4th position.
So Greg Biffle probably knows that watching Mark Martin all day. If he's going to make the pass, he's going to have to be on the high side.
Harvick took 4 tires. Last stop, he has fresh rubber. Then Stremme. How about Franchitti hanging back there in the top 7? This is it.
Nice and smooth.
Looks like Mark's got a good lead into turn 1. He stretches out on Biffle.
Yeah, Mark's a big believer in that shortest way around these racetracks. He really likes to go around the bottom, and he works hard at making his car work down there, and it's been fantastic today.
He is the all-time winningest driver in NASCAR Nationwide Series history, and Mark Martin in his first start of the year picks off win number 48 for his career at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Thanks, man.
There were a lot of guys that had some really good runs today, but look back in 8th spot, Patrick Carpentier, we didn't even know he was going to drive in this race until Casey King was sick.
Finished 6th. That's awesome.
Watching the celebration. Meanwhile,